Well, hello everyone, and let me be the first to wish you Happy New Year. This is Professor Profit coming to you. I want to talk to you a little bit about sports betting, how we looked in 2020 and what we're looking forward to in 2021. I want to take a look at our website, number one, Sportspix.com. We'll go over the results of 2020, the differences between this year and last year with the coronavirus in the middle of everything, every aspect of our lives. And then also I want to introduce you to a website called pickmonitor.com, where if you're interested to see how a certain sports handicapper is doing, it's a very honest site where you can see how they're doing. They don't do any monkey business. Some of these sites you can go in and change your picks after the game started, and this one does not allow it. It's very upfront. And you can also join it yourself if you want to track your picks and see how you're doing. So we'll take a look at that also. So stay tuned, here we go. So this is my website, number one, Sportspix.com. And on here at the top of the page you'll see we have the current lines on all the games of the day. And then as we move down to the middle of the page, you can see we have the picks of the day, and today we don't have any picks, but that's not uncommon, and that we're very picky picks, if you will. So we don't have a whole lot of picks, as you'll see as we scroll down a little further and see what our record is for the season. As you can see, NCAA football 8-0 on the season. 36-7 last season, so as you can see the picks are way down this year because the games are way down. No NFL picks. I can't figure that game out, so my advice to you would be, if you want some good picks, go to wagermethis.com, listen to Jacob and let him tell you about the NFL. He's got his finger on the pulse there. Then NCAA basketball, again with COVID, it's just been a weird season. Only one pick thus far. We're 1-0. Last year, as you can see, we had a lot more picks, going 79-9. And then finally, Major League Baseball, we only picked 3 games this year. We're 3-0 after going 65-24 last season. So all the picks are free if you want to check in from time to time and see what we're thinking. Most of the picks we do post on YouTube, but not all of them. So you might want to check in from time to time and kind of see what's going on there. So that's the number one, sportspick.com website. So this is pickmonitor.com, which is where I record all my picks. I like this site because it gives you an accurate report of how you're doing versus the other sports handicappers in the industry. And it's also a good place if you want to try your luck picking games. This will give you an accurate account of how well you're doing it, where you need to improve, where you're strongest, where you're weakest. This is the home page, and there are several hundred sports pickers on this site. It's free to join, like I said, so if you want to kind of track your own picks, it's a great place to do it. They don't have any funny business where you can go back in and change picks or things like that. What you see is what you get. I'm number one sports picks on this particular site, and you can go down to the profile here, and that'll kind of give you an account of how you are doing. And so we'll do that, and as you can see, this gives you the breakdown of the different sports. Basketball, which is my strongest sport, football, which I've improved in greatly, and we're heading in the right direction there. Hockey I gave up on, couldn't figure that game out, so I don't pick those any longer. Baseball, which is the sport that I love the most, is where I have the most struggles, and I've figured out why that is and corrected it, so that's also on the uptick. And then this is the overall record since I joined. If we go down a little bit, you can see here these are the dates. I joined in 2013 in February of that year, and had a good month. You can see up here the first month I won 17 units, which was my high water mark. If we go to April, you can see that I lost almost 34 units in April, which is baseball. And then if we'll move on over to April, once again, of 2014, you can see another huge loss, 39 units, again baseball. And the problem was I did not have enough patience, and I was rushing my picks before I could determine which teams were actually good, which pitchers were actually good, and which ones had lost a little bit from the season before. And so that cost me quite a bit. I stayed in there from February of 2013. I bottomed out in July of 2014 with right around 104 units, down 104 units in that roughly year and a half. So at that point, I decided I needed to figure out what was going wrong. So I took 5 months from July of 2014 to December, and then I came back in December, and we went from minus 104 units. In December we were down 99 units, so we gained about 5 units in December, and we just kept right on moving right on up through March, April. Even April we won. We'd figured out what we were doing wrong, so we won a little bit in April, and we went from minus 104 units to minus 85 units in that 5 months. Then, however, I decided to get into the poker game and start playing poker for about 3.5 years, and I got away from sports picking and sports betting. So I used my bankroll in the poker world and was successful there. But I did miss the sports betting, and I got back in, as you can see, in December of 2018, and we've stuck with it ever since then. And as you can see, if you look to the right here as we go, we're trending up the whole way, and we have actually won for 25 consecutive months since December of 2018 and December of 2020, which is ending today. You can see we're up 15 units overall, and we are up 3 units in December of this month. So it's been a good run for us, and we've tweaked our system a little bit and gotten to one that's successful. And one of the things I like to do, I don't pick against the spread. It drives me nuts. For example, in football, if you've got a team and you're laying 9 points and they're up 10, and you've got to win, and they go into the prevent defense and they give up a field goal or a touchdown right at the end of the game where they still win, but you lose your bet, that just drives me nuts. So I strictly stick with the money line these days. That way your goal is the same as the team's. You're just trying to win. You don't have to win by a certain amount. Where the team you're betting on doesn't really care how much they win by, just that they win. So this kind of puts you on the same page, and I do like that. So I also pick favorites, and a lot of people say you can't win money long-term picking just favorites. So when I got out of the business for a little while and was tweaking my system, I asked myself the questions, well, why not? And so that's what I went with. And as you can see, from July of 2014 was my last losing month. So we're, 6.5 years. So I think it's a pretty good system, and it's one that I will continue to stick with. So anyway, that is kind of what's going on at pickmonitor.com. And like I said, if that's something you would like to track your picks with, this is a good place to do it. So as I said, that's the place I go, and if you're interested in doing something like that, give it a try. It's easy to sign up, and it is free. So that's a look at #1sportspix.com and also pickmonitor.com. I hope you'll take a look at both and see what you think. And we also wish you once again a very happy new year in 2021. And finally, 2020, don't let the door hit you in the butt. You can't be gone soon enough. Talk to you again soon. This is Professor Profit coming to you. Bye-bye.